Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm excited about this video because this is day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas, and today I'm going to be talking about how do you forgive even when it feels impossible, and this is part 2. So I hope you watched part 1 yesterday. So I want to start out with this quote that I found that's so powerful. It says, when you forgive, you don't change the past, but you change the future. Let me say that one more time because that's so powerful. When you forgive, you don't change the past, but you do change the future. Y'all, that is some powerful stuff, and that's why we have to learn to forgive. So someone hurts us in a way that feels irreparable, and we say, I will never forgive you. And we all have said that at some point in time in our life. Someone wounds us emotionally or physically, and we think that's unforgivable. Yet we consistently are being told that forgiveness is vital for our mental health. But why? So, what does it mean to use the word forgiveness? Well, let's break this thing down. So, number 1, what is forgiveness? So, forgiveness is the letting go of a grievance or judgment that you hold against someone else. When you forgive, you also let go of feelings of bitterness, resentment, and vengeance. Yes, I said vengeance. So, many people have difficulty with the word forgiveness. We imagine forgiveness involves saying, I forgive you, and includes a hug, a pat on the back, or a blessing. That may be true sometimes, but not all of the time. Forgiveness does not have to involve the other person, and it's not for their benefit. Always remember that when I forgive you, it's not for your benefit, it's for mine. Because I can move on from whatever that thing is when I forgive you. And honestly, forgiveness does not always mean reunion. So remember that. Just because someone forgives you, it doesn't mean that they want to now hang out with you, they want to break bread with you, they want to go on vacation with you. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means they forgive you for them. Number 2, why should I forgive? So many studies have shown that practicing forgiveness is good for your emotional and physical health. Here's one interesting article about the science of forgiveness. So it talked about anger, bitterness, hate, and those type of emotions weigh heavily on your body and in your thoughts. When you don't process and release your emotions, they remain trapped inside of you and can cause physical ailments like stomach aches and high blood pressure, and can worsen depression and anxiety. When you forgive and let go of a grievance, you are freeing your body and your mind. Did y'all hear what I said? You're freeing your body and your mind. Forgiveness isn't the only way to let go of negative emotions, but it's one of the best ways to do that. Number 3, do I have to forgive? I believe that forgiveness can be helpful to many, and forgiveness's ability to heal your wounds may surprise you if you try it. But forcing yourself to forgive before you're ready could actually deepen your feelings of trauma and anger. Don't let anyone, including your mom, your dad, your siblings, your closest relatives, your closest friends, try to convince you to forgive when you're not ready to do so. If you're not ready and you really don't want to do it, don't let anybody convince you that, yeah, you need to do it. It's time. No, it's time when you say it's time, okay? You are not broken just because you aren't okay with forgiving someone else's misdeeds. You're not. You really are not. Number 4, so how do I do it? How do you forgive? And a lot of people don't know how to forgive. So one simple exercise that you can do is to write a letter. Okay, find a quiet space, some uninterrupted time, get pen and pencil and paper, and you write a letter to the person that hurt you. Now, you might say, Michelle, why in the world would I do that? But let me finish. So write out your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences, and your anger. And remember, this letter is for you. This letter is for you. It's for me. It's for whoever's writing it. No one else has to read it. This is only for you. So you want to get all the emotions you've bottled up moving and flowing through your pen. Imagine all of your anger and bitterness and resentment and sadness moving from deep inside of your body to that piece of paper. Even if you don't think you can ever forgive or you don't want to, a writing exercise like this can help you regain some control over disruptive negative thoughts, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you something, you let that stuff just continue to fester in your heart, all it does is make your body sick. It really does. So I think it's a great idea to put pen to paper, and then you can move on. Nobody ever has to see that. So when someone hurts us, it's normal to hold on to feelings of anger and resentment and to want revenge. I know I have from time to time, but I've moved on from that. But when we cling to our anger because it feels justified, we can't heal. You cannot heal when you cling to that anger. Whether or not you feel that forgiveness can be part of your healing process, the healing process itself is vital. While you heal, keep the focus on you. Do not, while you're here, let me say that again. While you are healing, keep the focus on you. Okay? It's not about the person that hurt you. It's not even about me. Focus on you. Every now and then, we say we should put ourselves last, but in this type of healing process, the focus stays on you, okay? Focus on what you can do to make your life better and whole, because I promise you, whoever wronged you, they don't care about your mental health and well-being, or even your physical health and well-being. They don't care about that. So you've got to focus on that, and only you can do it. Well, and if I will say this, if you need the help of a coach, I am always available. You can reach out to me. I'll leave my information in the description box. So now I'm going to do a quick recap, and I promise I'll let you be. So we talked about ways that you can forgive even when it feels like it's impossible, because depending on what someone has done to you, it can feel like, I will never forgive that person and move on. And I have to be honest with you, a few years ago, I had to forgive someone, or I had to learn the value of forgiving someone, not for them, but for me. And I think in my adult life, I've been down that road twice where I had to forgive someone, again, not for them, but for me, so that I could move on and be a better person and not let that stuff eat away of me. Because it was, child, I'm going to tell you something, I was so mad at these two individuals, two different individuals, mind you. But honey, I was so mad, and one of them, good God Almighty, I thought of everywhere in the world that I could wait and run him down if he stepped out in the street, where I could bash him in the head with a brick. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because that's how I felt. I really did. So you don't get to use me and think I'm going to be all right with it. But as time went on, I had to make peace with what had happened and understand it had nothing to do with me, but had everything to do with him and his selfishness. I let that go, and I forgave him. I didn't tell him that, but I forgave him so that I was able to move on. So, quick recap. We talked about what does it mean when we talk about forgiveness. So, number one, we talked about what is forgiveness, and we said it's the letting go of a grievance or judgment that you hold against someone else. And when you forgive, you let go of feelings of bitterness, resentment, and vengeance. Then number two, we said, why should we forgive? And we talked about how many studies have shown that practicing forgiveness is good for your emotional and physical health. And so that's, and that is so true. Number three, we talked about, do I have to forgive? And I gave you some reasons why forgiveness is something that you have to do, because if you don't, it eats away at you. But also, from a biblical standpoint, we are as Christians, we are supposed to forgive. God is not going to bless me, and he's not going to bless you if we walk around harboring ill will against somebody else. Forgive that person and move on. Number four, so how do I do it? And I talked about the writing assignment. Get out pen and paper. Get some quiet time where you can sit and write down your emotions. You can write down how that person made you feel. And it doesn't have to be in any type of order. It doesn't have to be in paragraph form. You can just jot down some notes as they come to you. You can talk about how you felt when this person did what they did. You can talk about, how you felt during that process, how you felt after that process, how it's affected your life going forward. Write all of that stuff down, because nobody's going to see it but you, unless you choose to share it with someone, and you certainly don't have to. And then I ended up with talking about when someone hurts us, it's normal to hold on to feelings of anger and resentment and to want to get revenge. I just shared that with y'all. But when we cling to our anger because it feels justified, we cannot heal. You just can't. Whether or not you feel that forgiveness can be part of your healing process, the healing process itself is vital. It is something that you must do. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. And I want to say to my newest subscribers, welcome and thank you. I want to say to my current subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate all that you do in supporting the things that I do on this channel. Love you guys to the moon and back. And I look forward to talking to you again in day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas. Until then, take care.